What's up, everyone? Mr. NoobTube Gamer. Today we're playing Halo 4 in 2024. I know it's been a long time since I've uploaded a video. I was at WrestleMania in Philadelphia, had a great time. Now I'm back, and we're going to talk about a game that many people consider to be the worst Halo of all time, at least when we're talking about the multiplayer. People hated the campaign as well, but many in the Halo community hated Halo 5's campaign even more. But the multiplayer for Halo 5 was actually pretty damn good. So, yeah, a lot of people would say that this is the worst Halo game and the beginning of the downfall, because this is the first game that was fully developed by 343. And many would say that if only Bungie stuck with the Halo series, Halo would be so much better right now. I'm not sure if that's necessarily true, because of what's going on right now with Destiny 2, which is completely controlled by Bungie, and it's not doing so good, so I'm not sure if Halo would really be that much better right now if Bungie was still doing it and 343 had nothing to do with it. Halo 4, admittedly, I have a lot of fun with it. But one thing I notice is that when I'm playing Halo 4 compared to Halo 1, 2, 3, I just instantly play a lot better in Halo 4 and get a lot more kills and just have a much better performance than I do in other Halo games because, yeah, the criticism was correct that they did a lot to try to cater to the Call of Duty player base, and as you guys know, you can probably tell by my username, I am primarily a Call of Duty player. Not so much these days, but at least the classic COD games were my favorite multiplayer games of all time. So, yeah, I could see how, I could definitely see the stuff that they did to try to cater more to that player base. The introduction of kill streaks in Halo 4 is definitely the big one, but they also, just the way the gunplay feels and certain other aspects of the game, it's just like, yeah, you could kind of tell that they deviated a lot from the classic Halo formula and tried to kind of follow the trend, because Call of Duty at the time was the biggest thing to ever happen in video games, and just like the overall gunplay, it feels a lot more like a Twitch shooter, sort of like COD is, more than a classic arena-style shooter that the OG Halo games are. I mean, they even added hit markers in Halo 4. I think that says a lot. But, you know, the big thing that people really hated was Sprint, even though that was in Halo Reach, which people say, oh my god, Halo Reach was amazing. But I think, honestly, that has more to do with the campaign, which was really good, as opposed to the multiplayer, but people also liked Halo Reach's multiplayer and said that that was the last great Halo game. Either way, it needs to be said, you can't really blame 343 for having Sprint, because that is something that was introduced by Bungie, not 343. And I guess 343 could have just taken it out of the game, but clearly, you know, considering how many people still love Halo Reach, it obviously worked. Whether you like it or not, it did. That's why Halo 5 also had Sprint, that's why Halo Infinite had Sprint, and that's why most likely the next Halo game will also have it. But yeah, I would say that Halo 4's multiplayer is somewhat underrated. I understand why people do not like it, though, so I wouldn't rank it, like, among the best Halo multiplayers. Definitely not. Like, I think 1, 2, 3 are definitely a lot better. Reach! I'll talk about Reach at some point later. But, yeah, overall, I really can't say too much awful things about Halo 4. The map design is fairly competent. The guns feel good to use. Like, everything that makes a multiplayer game good, it's there in Halo 4. Definitely is. And I know I'm not completely delusional for saying that, because there's a lot of people that still play Halo 4 to this day in 2024, 12 years later. You can still find plenty of people online on the MCC. I really don't notice any longer wait times for Halo 4 than I do with other Halo games, so it is still very popular, which means that there are people that enjoyed it. I think I actually did buy the game back in 2012 and then just never played it. Like, I couldn't get into it back in the day, but I think that had more to do with the fact that I didn't really have any friends to play it with, and Halo is really like that. Like, it's a great party game to play with other people. I had a lot of that in Halo 3 and Halo Reach, and even Halo Anniversary, but none of my friends were interested in Halo 4, so that's probably the main reason why I didn't really get into it that much. But yeah, that's the most important thing. People are still playing this game to this day, and you have, you know, whether it's 4v4, 8v8, all the game modes still have players, so you have a lot of variety still. It's not exactly a carbon copy of Call of Duty, because I am a huge Call of Duty fan, and I couldn't get into this game, so it's obviously not entirely like Call of Duty. It's probably like a mixture. I'd say it's like 75% classic Halo and 25% COD, sort of. But I think, again, multiplayer-wise, they did a pretty good job. and it was the last Halo game to actually have split screen, which is funny because of all the controversy about them taking it out of Halo 5, and they said, we're gonna put it in, we promise, Halo Infinite's gonna have it, and then they're like, nah, we lied. So 343 has definitely gotten worse and worse over the years, but it wasn't too bad when they first got into the Halo series with Halo 4. It's definitely worth playing, especially if you skipped it, didn't give it a chance, and you have the MCC. Definitely better than Halo Infinite. Let me know if you still play this game in 2024.